Good day, McVeigh, and happy Thursday. How are you, boys and girls? Good morning. Let's get started with our birthdays. Let's see. Today, happy birthday to Ryan Avarican in our fifth grade. Only one today. And we have two cool jokes. That's right, two of them. But, boys and girls, check out this McVeigh merch. Adding a little sparkle to your day. You see that? And holy moly, do I need a haircut, huh? All right, well, first joke is coming from Ethan Lim. We've had this joke before, but I had to share it again because the illustration is outstanding. So, and we're changing the wording just a little bit. Why did the math book look so agitated? Agitated, that's a good word. Here's the illustration. Because it was full of problems, of course. Good work, Ethan. And then, this one's coming from the Yarkins. I won't be able to show you the illustration until afterward because it'll give it away. What goes up when the rain comes down? An umbrella. Of course, take a look. Yeah, okay. Now, speaking of the Yarkins are the only ones who have gotten this riddle. You have 2 apples and 3 apples. If somebody takes one, how many apples do you have? You have 2 apples, 3 apples. If somebody takes one, how many apples do you have? Come on, I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Think. It's a play on words. It's a riddle, so you know that there's a trick to it. See if you can figure it out. Now, where on earth is? So here's Miss Hoxkin, and I've said there's a clue. The clue is the character. So in this language, the writing is called characters. So they look different than what we're used to. But this writing is different than other writing. All right, so take a look at that, but I'm going to give you another clue. This is a large country in Asia. I'm not going to say how large because that will give it right away. But now you have 2 clues. It's a large country in Asia. Large. All right, let's see if you can figure that out. I think you can. Now, the Mighty Math Challenge is on, boys and girls. And yesterday, we had over 15,000 questions answered. But I remember the preliminary round where we had something like 200,000 questions answered over the days. So I hope you're going to get moving on that because otherwise, you'll never get a chance to show what you know. Right? All right, so let's get that going. And a special thank you goes out to Mr. Angeli for taking care of that for us. All right, so science. The Kit Kat and 3 Musketeers floating experiment. We saw that yesterday. The Doyles did that. And so what they did is they took 5 chocolate bars and they put them in water to see which ones float. And they found that the Kit Kat and 3 Musketeers floated, whereas the Snickers, Milky Way, and Milky Way Midnight, I think it was called, all sank. And I said they thought that would happen because they weighed less. So I said, is that really why? Now that is true, they do weigh less. But then I said, think about some of the things we learned about when Miss Zucker was floating. So we learned that the density of the water kept her afloat. Okay. So Emma George, she said, you know what? It's not that they're lighter, it's that the 3 Musketeers and the Kit Kat have air inside them, and that's true. And it's the air that keeps them afloat. That is true. Very well done, Emma. So the 3 Musketeers, if you snap it in half, you'll see it. There's like air. There's nougat in there. They call it nougat. Anyhow, so but you can see the little looks like air pockets. Same thing with a Kit Kat, and that's why it floats. And boys and girls, now we have our science today. So we have Alexandria from Mr. Leonori's class. Check it out.
This is my experiment. It's called the Bubbly Confusion. What we have is some dish soap, a glass full of water, and then an empty glass. So what I'm going to ask as a question is which glass is going to have the most bubbles. So I'm going to pour this dish soap into the glass of water, and then we're going to see how much bubble it gets. And then we're going to mix it with this straw. Now, time to mix. So this only had just a few bubbles. Now we have to pour it in this glass. So, what we have here is a few bubbles that are in, but more bubbles than this glass had, which is glass A. So that means for question 1, glass B had more bubbles than glass A. Now, we're going to go on to this kind of question. I was supposed to not test it out before I do it. So, I have to, when I first started this, I had to say which one I thought had more bubbles, and I thought glass A because the dish soap that I put inside thought when I mixed it, it would get more bubbles. But no, when I poured it in, when I poured it in, it mixed a lot. Since this straw didn't mix so well, that's why this had more bubbles than glass A. So, that's my experiment.
Okay, so Alexandria had dish soap. She had a glass with water and then a glass with no water. She put the dish soap in the one with water. She mixed it. She wanted to see how many bubbles would be on top. And then she poured that mixture into the empty glass and more bubbles appeared. So, her question was, which glass would have more bubbles? I have another question. Why did the second glass have more bubbles? Was it because she didn't mix very well in the first glass and it mixed better when she poured it in? What was the reason why the second glass had more bubbles? And you know what I loved about what she did? She talks about a hypothesis. So hypothesis is, here's what you think what will happen when you do this. You don't know yet because you haven't done it. So she was saying in the beginning, she thought that there would be more bubbles when she mixed it. She hadn't tried it. After she tried it, she realized, nope, there's more bubbles in the one where she didn't actually use the mixer. And her theory was that maybe she didn't mix well enough or that her mixer wasn't sufficient. It wasn't good enough. Maybe she's right. Maybe she's not. I don't know. I'm asking you. What do you think? Why did the second glass have more bubbles? This is what scientists do. There's a problem. They use what they know. They might do some more research and find solutions. They find answers to problems. And they also might find problems with their own design experiment. Sometimes you do everything that you think you should, but then in the end you think, oh, you know what? I should have done that, and that would have helped me get better results. Then you start over. And over time, you're able to answer problems and create solutions and figure things out. And that's how it works. That's how it works right now. And that's what lots of scientists all over the world are doing right now to figure out how to create a vaccine or medications. That's exactly what they're doing. I hope one day you're going to be one of those scientists, or you're going to be one of those people out there solving problems. And this is how you start. With a little experiment just like this. Good job, Alexandria. And so, boys and girls, before we leave today, of course, we have some McVeigh's Got Talent after the show today. We have 2 more days of McVeigh's Got Talent. Today, it will be Naomi plus Sienna and Emily. There might be a few more days, but I know of at least 2 more days of McVeigh's Got Talent. And of course, boys and girls, we'll finish with our Mighty Kind moment of the day. Dun, dun, dun. So, boys and girls, let's see. Here's one. Oh, together we can change the world by one random act at a time. You know, there have been a number of boys and girls who've been, I would say, making one random act of kindness at a time. Couple of the Reyes sisters, the Thomas boys, for what they did for our families in need. And then, even just yesterday, it was Macy's birthday, and she said, you know, don't bring me any gifts. Can you bring some food for some families who need some food? What a random act of kindness. And the same thing for lots of you boys and girls who've been doing some wonderful things to help others and be kind. And that's the way to go. It's not always going to be easy. You know, things come up in our lives that we have to deal with, but we can always be kind. We can always try to be kind. No matter what, we can try to be kind and do what we can to help somebody else. And when we do that, we actually help ourselves. Look at how happy Macy is. She didn't get any gifts. Look how happy she is. And there's another picture where she's thumbs up, because it's not about getting more things or having all the best things. It's about doing good. So well done. So boys and girls, again, I know you can, and I know you can because you're a mighty mind, and not only that, you're mighty kind, mighty mind, and every day is a great day to get smart and be kind to both each other and the earth. Let's have a wonderful day.
It's a magic trick to show everybody.
Want to see it disappear? Want to see it reappear? Every night I lie in bed, and the brightest color